Hello folks, welcome to a Thorncroft update video. So I thought I'd do another update for you just to show you how the show plants are coming along for Chelsea, Chatsworth, Malvern for this year. And I was meant to do more videos for you. I was going to do more update videos, but I'm afraid we've been really busy, which is great news of course. But the last video I made, I inadvertently deleted it, so if you're watching this successfully, I've obviously managed to upload it this time. So there we go. So here's an update for you. I'm just going to show you around what we're doing at the moment. We've been putting together a mock-up. So this is our 2019 Chelsea show exhibit. Our mock-up for the show stand. Obviously it doesn't look very much at the moment, but we do this every year, so we put out some of the things we're using. Some of this will get used, some won't, but no, on the plans the main things we're using are features from around the nursery and the previous Chelsea show exhibits. So lots of history going on, because of course we're celebrating this year our 30th year in retail, so we want to sort of celebrate that by showing you lots of bits and pieces, structures, items like the old sales trolleys from the nursery. I'm not going to show you all of them because otherwise there'll be nothing to look forward to at Chelsea, but just to give you a taster, some of the things that we're using. Down here there's this old pot here that was given to us by a friend from Ireland back years ago. Lots of visitors to the nursery and gardens will have seen this pot featured in the garden. Over here, there's not there at the moment, but there's going to be a large arch in there. That is an old arch. When we very first started doing flower shows and floral exhibitions, we had this lovely arch made for us, handmade out of wrought iron. So that's going to be featured, but not putting it here for you today, because this is just a tease, you see, just to get you, keep you interested. But we'll show you what it looks like when we put the show stand together. So yes, other bits and pieces of railings here. So all these different features will be labelled so that when people visit the show, visit Chelsea, you'll be told about them and their significance and when they was sort of first used and that sort of thing. That will all be told to you when you're at the show. So I'll show you that when we do the final video, when it's all finished. Other things, so this obelisk here was part of a whole set of obelisks, about 20 of these we had made, and they have no crown on the top at the moment because they have a very clever system where you put little pipes on the top, and then you can either have a crown on top of it, we call it a crown, or you can have an archway, or you can have a sort of an arch going downwards. So we could use those 20 obelisks and the arches, or swags as we call them, that when they go downwards, we could use them in all manner of different ways. So they were introduced back in about the well, I suppose early 2000s, so 2002, 2003, something like that. The great big railings, these tall railings as we call them, the tall railings were introduced in about 2007, 2008 I think. 2007 I think was the first year we used them. The year we got our first gold medal, I think. Or no, actually it was the year before, 2006 I think we first used them. But anyway, all that history is going to be part of this exhibit. Yeah, and then the shed. The shed, we designed the shed, built the shed. That was built by Dad, John, hand-built to our specification, so that we had somewhere to store things on the exhibit. When we started doing exhibits that were on the ground, we didn't have any staging to hide things under or to store things under, so the shed was built to be a feature of the exhibit, but also a practical storage area. So there, all that's going to be in there. And of course now this poor old trolley down here, this is going to be featured on the stand, so we're going to do something interesting and exciting with that. Again, visitors to the nursery, when we opened here for retail years ago, sadly we don't open for retail anymore, we just retail by our websites, mail order only. But when we used to open the shop, This was one of the very first trolleys we ever had, and it's still going strong. It's a little bit, yeah, a little bit, it's characterful, let's say that. It's got character. So that will be featured as well. There'll be some other fun bits and pieces going on this stand. So there you are. That's a bit of a mock-up for Chelsea. I haven't got my proper microphone on here today, so sorry if it's a bit windy. Let's show you how the plants are getting on. Right, here we are. So this is Ethel, the tunnel we call Ethel. Still can't remember why Ruth calls it Ethel, but there we go. That's Mum's name for it. Here we are. Here's some of the plants that can get. Oh, some fallen over here. I won't stand them up just now because the wind will only blow them over again. And yeah, well, look at these. They're looking good, aren't they? Gosh, if you go back to the last video I did, they must have been really short, because this is yeah, wow, looking really good. Jilly has been racing around in here fairly much on her own. No, she has had help from Carol and Ruth as well. Mum is still helping out a lot, and Dad is still helping out a lot as well. Move the plants around, help teach Jilly still, but she's doing a sterling job. Because they're looking great. Yeah, and Jilly's doing a lot of work in here keeping these going up. There's some good height coming on these. This is scented clem, one that we're launching this year at Chelsea, and these ones are going up really tall. I don't know if they're gonna flower. Is this one going to flower? I don't know, maybe not. We've got lots of others though that are looking really good. In fact, some that are flowering already, which is a bit of a concern. Yeah, but looking nice. Tiger here. Tiger, obviously introduced 2017, has become an absolute hit. I'm just so thrilled that we were invited to launch that on behalf of the breeder in Japan. So yeah, that looks really good. Ruby Wedding, that was last year such a magnificent display. Don't know if we're going to have quite the same display at Chelsea this year. They're a bit further behind than I'd like, but there's some good bud in the top here, so maybe they'll go to Chatsworth instead. Maybe not for Chelsea, but maybe for Chatsworth. Ignore the lavenders. They're not going to be used by us. That's for Mum's garden when she gets it sorted out. There we are. Right, so into the gherkin. And yes, this is not going to be used. These ones are the ones we want to look at. Now, look at this. Is already it's looking a bit empty in here because we've been moving plants around again. Dad has, and yeah, we need to get some of these strings up, because some of them are getting, there's a few here who've got strings on, but we need to get the rest of them done. Like, these are lined up, so these pots here are lined up, ready to be have strings put on this spline here, so they'll get string from their cane to the spline, that we can train them up that and then transport them more easily. Yeah, so some good height on this. There's lots of plants with good height. What's this? Oh, lovely buds here. Who's this one? We've got Happy Anniversary. There you are. Happy Anniversary, everybody. Yeah, it's looking good. So yeah, the plants are looking stunning. Here is one of my favourites from last year, Charmaine. Raymond Everson Clematis, again, got a Raymond, launched so many wonderful Clematis plants. Charmaine, I just think, is divine. It takes a long while for these flowers to open, so I'm not too concerned that these buds are like this, because even if that one is finished, it's still got 3 others on it. So sometimes we let the odd one flower. We'll let that one flower, but we'll target perhaps the other 1, 2, 3, 4 buds on that plant. So yeah, so there we go. Lots of Charmaine there. So it's a whole row and a half, and then there's another row here. Yeah, so there we go. Integrifolias, this is Little Twinkle, I think. yeah, Twinkle. These Integrifolia Twinkle are targeted for the Chatsworth show. Yeah. So yeah, lots of short ones here for filling in. Some of these will hopefully they'll just bush up in the next week or two. They'll be giving good flower lowdown. Yeah, lots of gaps. Right, lots of gaps, because a lot of them, thanks to this gorgeous weather, have been moved to the shade house. Look at this one. We've got Snow Queen as well out in flower here. Isn't that gorgeous? That's not going to the flower shows, obviously, because it'll all be finished by then. Here is in the shade area. Over here in the shade area, what have we got? Lift this up. Whoa, look at that lot. Wow, there's a good lot of plants in here. So these are all plants that are, as far as we're concerned, a little too far ahead. These will just be slowing, mainly for Chelsea. This wall of green is scented, sugar sweet blue scented clem. So that's one of our key launch plants, one that we're targeting also to do as plant of the year for Chelsea, so that's quite important. Some with some good buds coming here on those, so that's excellent to see. Here's the rest of them. Yes, here's the rest of them. So sugar sweet blue, all looking really super, and some of them are already coming out into flower. We have had flowers in the garden for a couple of weeks already, and mine at home is beautifully scented. I would describe it as a jasmine-like scent myself. Yeah, so really nice. That's, of course, those flowers are not fully open. They will open like a traditional palm-shaped, open clematis flower. There we are. Yeah, so really excited to have that. Maria Sladanska Curie, yes, so might be getting a single flower on that, maybe, I don't know. Who else is in here? Good old Vivian Pennell. Yeah, we like to have some of the traditional varieties on the exhibit as well, so Vivian Pennell there too. Well, there we go, folks. That's that sort of shows you a fair number of plants there. We've got Yukio Koshi at the back, great big shaggy double white one, and Green Passion is always popular now. This is a lovely unusual flower, Green Passion, that great big sort of double greeny white bloom is really unusual. Alright, let's just take you very quickly in the hothouse and I'll sign off. Let's just take you in here to show you what these are doing. Right, hothouse. Look at this lot. So the hothouse, of course, where we want to bring things to speed them up. Yeah, looking amazing. Wow, I can see some flowers in here. Who's that over there? Princess Kate. She's already doing her thing. She'll be alright. Plenty of buds to come on that. Wow, gosh, I'm really excited. I haven't come in here for a few days. So this is really exciting for me to see all this lot coming on. Viticella Vala here. All this lovely bud on Vala. Look at that. All the way up there. Keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going, keeps going. Buds right up to the top. Yeah, fantastic. So that's great to see. And here's more of the Marie Sladanska Curie. Beautiful double white from Stefan Marcinski in Poland. Yeah, fantastic plant. Really love this. Superb double white and a long flowering period. I grow that at home and that's super. There you go. So there we are. That's just a little update video for you. I shan't carry on any longer. We are very busy, so I'm going to get back to the desk sadly, but I'm going to leave you with just a heads up. I will do another quick video in a day or two in the workshop video, just to answer some questions that people have sent in. That's really great. I'm really enjoying that idea, so we'll have an in the workshop video coming up for you in the next few days. Alright folks, well, I hope you've enjoyed that, and I'll see you again in the next video.